and welcome back to another episode of the Real Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Jacob O'Connor. Real Conversations is a podcast for those dedicated to doing hard things and living a meaningful life. This belief is perhaps best encapsulated by a quote from the great Teddy Roosevelt. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, nor where the doer of deeds could have done them better. No, the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena. With that being said, welcome back to another episode of Real Conversations. And today, we are joined by none other than my good friend, Joseph Holthusen.
The one, the only.
He's back, round two, baby.
He is back.
And that's the voice of John. I'm sure you guys hopefully know that by now.
Yeah, I'm just third wheel kind of usually in these conversations.
Yeah. How you doing, Joe?
Good. You're not going to be third wheel today. We're gonna force you in.
This is the John Peterson show.
Yep. it could be renamed. It could be renamed.
As you guys are watching, we've been talking about this for such a long time. And if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, we finally got the new camera. So it took me like 20 minutes of messing around with it. Joe has been incredibly patient. Him and John have just been messing around the entire time. Hopefully the video quality and everything ends up being correct and I don't have to do too much more research, but the camera's in, we're using it, and I'm stoked.
It looks really nice, man. I should have gotten a haircut.
Zoom in at some point.
Yeah. We need to zoom
like at
in
the
on,
end because it's
Joe's
crazy.
So they can see how good the quality is? Yeah.
You can see every hair on my face.
So allegedly, this is at least what the internet says, this is the same camera that Joe Rogan uses. So granted, he has like 3 of them that he uses, but we only have 1, but it's still the same one that he uses.
Wow. So I'm going to be on a podcast with like 2 million views.
Yeah, you basically,
awesome.
I've heard that as long as you have the same video quality, you automatically they give you the downloads.
That's great.
Yeah. So Joe, people may have heard the first episode with you. We have a lot of new listeners since the last time you've been on. Why don't you go ahead and kind of give the rundown of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Joseph Holthusen. I've been running track this is my 12th year. Just finished my 12th year, and I'll be going into my 13th year next year. It'll be my last year of track. Went to Bishop Carroll High School here in Kansas, in Wichita, and went to WSU on the coaches, I basically had to convince them to go and run on the team.
Really?
Yeah, and they'll tell you the same thing, too, that I was recruiting them, and it turned out really well. I went to nationals my junior year, right during COVID, and then after that, got hurt for a year and a half, and then this past year was a great year. Had a lot of PRs, and we won conference this year. The team did last year, but I wasn't on the team last year because I was hurt, and then this year we won conference. So
you've been on a long journey, dude. Like 13 years of, especially relative to how young you are. Like 13 years of dedicating your life at this point is a long time to be doing something.
Yeah, and I played football from 3rd grade to 12th grade, so that was 10 years, and then track from 6th grade to now will be my 6th year coming up.
Incredible. And you were an All-American. You got a lot of PRs this year. I mean, it sounds like things have been on an uphill spiral for you since we last talked.
Yeah, it's been great. After I went to nationals, I ended up getting really bad plantar fasciitis, and then the next year came around and indoor. It was going okay, but I tripped over a last hurdle and hurt a nerve in my knee and my IT band and my foot again. So then I was out all the rest of indoor and outdoor. Indoor I actually ran at conference, but I got last place because I was hurting so bad.
Yeah.
My knee, I couldn't even barely walk. Like after I was done, I was sitting on the ground. They had to help me over to the table. Like it was bad.
Oh no.
And then outdoor, I gave up and redshirt. So that's how I got my 6th year.
How are you feeling about this last year coming up that you have?
Fantastic. I'm excited for the team next year. They did a lot of recruiting, so the sprint squad's going to be awesome. Tanner Brown, who was multi at the year we won conference 2 years ago, he ended up hurting his knee really bad, and he was out for all of this year as well. So a full year, and he's coming back. He's real fast. He's like a 10.4 guy. Or he was. I think he is going to be faster this year even. Because he's insane. So
when you say 10.4, let's break this down. What distance are you running, and what is like a pretty good time?
So the conference winner from Houston, he was actually a semifinal in the Olympics. He ran 9.96 or something like that, I believe. Jeez. 10.2 is phenomenal. 10.4 is absolutely amazing, and 10.6 is really good. Anything under 11 is pretty darn good.
That's for 100 meters?
Yeah, so at conference, I think a 10.5 flat scored.
Wow.
Scored 1 point.
That's
So,
crazy. It's so marginal, too.
Yeah.
It's like 1/10 of a second.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty fast guy, eh?
I tried. I ran a 10.6, so, and that was after running an 11.1. So I hadn't run 100 in like 3 years, 2 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And at the one time I ran it in college, it was like 40 degrees out, and ended up, that's when I got plantar fasciitis, was that meet.
Oof.
And then so I didn't run it for like 2 years, and then this year, my first time I ran a 10.8, and then I ran a 10.6 high, and then a 10.6 low.
So you said you got 7 new PRs this year. What were they? What were they in?
So 3 of them were in the 100, 2 of them were in the hurdles, 1 was in the 200, and actually I may have gotten 8 PRs because I think the 4x1, I personally was on, like I was on the team, and that team PR'd.
Wow.
Twice.
8 PRs in 1 year is incredible. Like most
Yeah.
people are just going for 1. Like Brady, he's just trying to get above the 1 bar higher than he did the last time.
Yeah.
To have 8 different PRs is insane.
Yeah, and so that was just outdoor. Indoor, I had 1 PR, but it was in the 60. The hurdles, obviously, it's hard to PR after you go to nationals and have a great time like that, and then you have a year and a half off.
You kind of
but I
screwed
did-
yourself over by doing that. Like
Yeah, a little
being
bit.
so good so early on.
A little bit. It's hard to meet those expectations again. But I've gotten back to that point. I'm actually outdoor. I ran way better than I ever did before I was hurt. So it's been good. And I don't have an indoor left, but I have an outdoor left. So I'm excited for that because outdoors just going so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, man. I know that it sucked when you were hurt. I see how hard you work. Obviously, we're good friends. I'm happy that you had like a really killer season.
Yeah, man. It was the summer went really well before, and then I came in and we do this testing where we do a fly, which is you start out with 20 meters, and then they track your 30 meters when you're at top speed, and then we do 30-meter dash, and then we do a 300, and then we go to standing long, which broad jump, standing triple, hang clean, and then over the head back shot put throw. And I got second overall on the team, and the only person that beat me was a multi who does those kind of things.
Right,
So the summer and fall obviously went really well. I was a little bit hurt. I was kind of dealing with a hamstring thing for a little bit, but other than that, like the healthiest season I've ever had. It was awesome.
That's got to feel good.
So yeah.
Now, do you think you're recovering different? Like you think you're doing more recovery protocol?
Partially, I mean, we cool down after every practice, but really taking that serious has helped. Really knowing my limits at practice. Like if I start getting tired and I want to do 3 more reps, well, are those going to be worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point it's like, well, those aren't going to be beneficial at all. I'm just going to end up being too tired and I'm going to screw my form up, or
Yeah.
it's not going to be a good rep. So really learning when to stop and when to take it light in the weight room. Like if you're having something hurting, like I'll just chill out a little bit and stuff like that.
That's such a fine line, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like I know you and we go so hard in the gym, and with all the running I've been doing lately, it's like when you're running as many miles a week as I am, having started at 0, I've been trying to like figure out, okay, when do I need to push? And it's like, okay, this run is hard. That's good. Let's finish it. And when should I maybe say, hey, I need a little bit more rest and really allow myself to recover more? There's such a hard line for people like all 3 of us who want to just keep pushing and grinding and don't want to be weak and think we're not disciplined or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like when you are hurting, it's hard to be like, okay, like I need to take a few days off here and like rest, because it feels like you're just being lazy.
Yeah.
Or especially like when you have a coach, like, coach thinks I'm being lazy, but he understands. He's just got so many athletes to worry about that it's like if he doesn't have to worry about you, he's not going to make the time to do it. He's just going to move on to the other people.
Yeah.
And it feels like he's just neglecting you, like, he's hurt again, whatever. No, he's not even thinking about it. He's respecting your decision. He's just not, he's not going to sit there and like give you all the time that he normally would when he has other athletes that he can give time to that are healthy, and he's just letting you rest. It's interesting, especially like 2 days before the meet, we always get off. And some people would probably be like, well, why do you take an extra day off? Well, with track, if you're not 100% or at least like 95% when you run, like you're not going to run as good as you could. Unlike, like football or anything like that, it's like, oh, I sprained my ankle 2 days ago, but I wrap it up and I play.
Right.
And you play better than, the people that were behind you. You see that a lot in the NFL. Like a quarterback will get hurt, but they'll still play because they're that good.
Right.
That they can play hurt and still play that good. But with track, it's like, well, if I sprained my ankle 2 days ago, I'm not going to perform where I'm supposed to be, and I'm not going to win. I'm not going to do good. I'm not going to PR. So it's half of track is just staying healthy. Like that's the hardest part of track, honestly, is just staying healthy.
When you take those rest days, I mean, are you able to just sit still? Is that something that you think that you've been able to do?
After a long season and like when we get to outdoor, I usually can. But like during the fall, we'll get Wednesdays off. Technically, we have to because we can only do like 8 hours a week during the fall. NCAA rules, and they'll say Wednesday is optional, and it is. Like it's not one of those things where coach says, "Oh, it's optional," and it's not. It's not optional.
But you better be in the gym.
Yeah. It's not one of those things. You can actually take it off. But for me, like when it's that early in the season, I'm like, oh, I got to get this working, so I go in and do it. So yeah, it's hard sometimes, especially like, you're kind of hurting a little bit, but you're only working out 4 days, and you're like, I get 2 days off on the weekend, like. That's normal, but having this Wednesday off, like I really want to go in. Sometimes you just have to take it off. Sometimes it's hard. Later in the season, it's not as hard because you're really pushing yourself. We work out Tuesdays really hard, and you're pushing yourself Tuesday. And Wednesday comes around, you're just lifting. You're like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, oh. But yeah.
I have the hardest time sitting still. Like
Really?
a day off or an injury. Either of those, they screw me up, man.
Yeah. I mean, you run so many miles, it seems that, like when you're not running as many miles as you're used to.
Even just doing anything. If someone said you have the day off, most people are like, oh, let's go. I mentally, like, it's just not good for me. I just sit there and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I didn't do anything to get better today. That's where my head automatically goes.
Yeah. No, it's hard for me to sit there. Like, I can sit there for a while by myself and just do nothing and enjoy it. But there's some part of the day that rolls around and I'm like, gosh, I got to do something. Like, I got to go out and do something, What is, like, your favorite way to decompress? Like, whenever you do have that day off, even just, like, a 3-hour period, like, what is your go-to? Usually I'll message my buddy and ask if he wants to play Apex Legends, and we'll get on. And
what's that?
Xbox. Well, it's a video game.
Oh, nice.
Isn't it like Fortnite?
It's like a battle royale with different legends you choose, and it's got a big map,
Sweet.
No building like Fortnite. But me and him used to play. That's how we started out becoming like really good friends because he's my cousin. We started out with Fortnite, and then we moved to Rocket League, or we moved to Apex, and then we moved to Rocket League, and then we moved back to Apex after that. So,
nice.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite ways. YouTube, I'm a big YouTube guy.
Yeah.
I love watching YouTube.
We need some YouTube content from you. I think you discussed that at one
know.
point. We want to see you put a channel up, man.
Well, you have that nice camera, and I don't want to
shoot,
but like I know one of you guys has got to run it, but we could definitely do it this summer.
I was going to say, we've got a camera that we might be able to use.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
And the drone, if you still have the drone
too, yeah.
That thing's awesome.
Yep.
So,
well, I mean, we have an idea for one video, and we can talk about that. But like, what would be your goal with this channel, or what would be the other content of the channel?
Oh, I don't know. It's not. I've still got that board game stuff going on. That I'm talking to a media advisor right now. She's actually my cousin's wife.
Man, everything's in the family with you.
Yeah. She's really helpful though, but I'm trying to come up with stuff for that right now. I've kind of been focused on that as far as media and content goes. But with the YouTube, it would be awesome to just do like track stuff, sports stuff, workout stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen Nick Simmons. He was an 800 Olympian, and he was really good. But he does all this these different challenges and stuff like that out in the public. And he does different workout stuff. He challenges himself sometimes. Like it was one of his things was do a mile, 24 miles in 24 hours.
Oh,
so every hour, at the top of the hour, he'd do a mile. And he did one of those, and not that I'm a distance runner, but
you totally could be.
But as you know, it's just different sorts of sports stuff would just be awesome. But it's got to be original content. It's hard for me to copy someone else and think of it as like good content.
Well, but you can also copy what works too. Like,
yeah, that's true as well.
I see a lot of videos right now that are doing really well. It's like D1 athlete does X, Y, and Z, day in the life of, or workouts with.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you could start that stuff right now and it'd do really well.
Yeah, that's true as well. Get Brady on there right away.
Yeah.
Follow Ridge around with his eating habits and stuff.
When I talked to him, he said he was, man, the calorie intake is just crazy.
Yeah,
for him. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Oh, man.
He just came back off.
No way I could eat that much.
He's dedicated.
Explode. I know. That's awesome.
Yeah. He came back on for the second time, not like a couple weeks ago, and I think he said he dropped his calories by maybe about 1,000. I think he said he was on a cut. Mm-hmm. But him dropping by 1,000 still means he's eating, what, 5,500 or something?
I know. It's ridiculous.
Incomprehensible to most people.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. The original idea for the video was you and I doing like fitness challenges. Mm-hmm. What were the events they were going to be again?
Oh, well, and him too.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you were in it?
Oh, I'd love him. I'd love him to be in it.
We should. We could do like D1 athlete versus ultra runner versus giant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus tall guy.
It was going to be, we were going to have like running sections, lifting sections, and then like events that I haven't done and you haven't done.
Yeah.
Like a high jump or something like that.
Oh, God. Well, you've got Marissa, though. So
I'm awful at high jump.
Yeah, but
you should ask her. I'm awful.
But your girlfriend's got like...
She could come in and high jump.
She'd kick our butt.
We could get different event groups in there as well.
It'd be fun if you compete against other athletes in their sport.
Like if I got me, another sprinter, Ridge, and Marissa or Brady.
Yeah.
And did like a competition, and then you came up with whatever you want.
That'd be fun
for your portion. It'd be like a 2-day thing, or maybe like a 1-day thing, but like a multi sort of thing.
My portion would just be running for 12 hours straight.
but anyway, like to not tire you guys out too much, it would be like you do one of them, do one of them, and
that'd be sweet.
Like that.
But the competitive side of me like wants to go 1v1 with you. Like I know you're going to kick my butt, but I definitely would want to try all of the events.
Well, anything over about 400 meters, you'd kick my butt. You choose something like a mile, and it's like, oh, I'm done. I'm about a 10-minute mile guy.
10 minutes isn't a bad mile, man.
Pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's about 4.5 hours in a marathon if you're thinking of it that way.
It's not 4.5 though.
Don't knock that. I was at like 450.
Yeah.
I'm saying that, but after about 3 miles, I don't think I could go 10-minute miles after that.
Yeah.
The most I've ever run is 3.5. My whole life.
Really? How?
I'm horrible at it.
It's not.
I went so I was going to do a 3-mile run, and I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to stop. And I think this was maybe winter when we were off. I was like, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to be a wimp. And so I went out there, and I got to about 1.5 miles, and I was like, oh my gosh, my feet hurt. Like, I'm not a distance runner. My bone density's too much.
You got to run with me. I don't think it'll hurt. I think it will actually be pleasantly enjoyable.
Where do you run?
Wherever. Usually Redbud Trail, which goes behind WSU.
Yeah.
But I'll run anywhere. I just think I think if you go at the pace I'm going, which is much slower than you're used to, I think it'll be casual and you might actually enjoy it.
Okay.
He's thinking, hell no.
Enjoyable.
Well, this summer I have. Right now, during June, it's just general conditioning for us. So staying active, going on a run, going on a bike ride, whatever.
Yeah.
Going to the pool, whatever. So
we got to get that pool open, boys.
So if you could carry me to a new distance PR, like 4 or 5 miles, I'd try it.
Definitely. I think you'd enjoy it.
I think we're running 5 tomorrow.
Yeah. We doing tomorrow morning
time.
6:30.
I'll text you about that.
Oh. He's like, we'll talk off air about that.
That would be all right.
Yeah. Friday mornings we run 5 miles at like 6 or 6:30, and then we do an ice bath.
What pace
after.
do you guys usually go?
Real slow, like a 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very manageable.
Well, hopefully it's a 10.
I won't be talking. I won't be talking after 3. I'm just gonna let you know that.
Yeah,
but,
dude,
but yeah.
Go into the pain cave, man.
Now, but these people that are listening are gonna think I'm in awful shape for saying all this. But But my weight room and my sprints are much better.
No, they're phenomenal.
Much better.
I said, just tune into the video here. You can see Joe's clearly an in-shape, good-looking guy here. Look at that. See that flex? Ooh. Wait, show him the tat. Show him the tat.
Oh, yeah.
You got to talk about that.
It's adrenaline. I got it after nationals my junior year.
Well, you can't just say it's adrenaline. Describe what that is for the people.
It's the chemical symbol for adrenaline. So I've actually had some stories in my life where adrenaline saved me, saved my life, not just like.
Are you willing to share these stories?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
geez,
you can't. It's a cliffhanger, man. Like, come on.
But also adrenaline in sports. My adrenaline is just through the roof. Like, practice versus competition. I'll run significantly faster in competition than I will in practice, and it's just the adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so it was crazy. Me and my buddies were in the Tetons in Wyoming, and we were doing a camping trip, and it was supposed to be like a 5-day or 4-day, but it ended up being a 3 because it was so hard. We calculated it to be like 30 miles, and with the uphill downhill, it ended up being like 50.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And we ended up having to camp on we had campsites that you could stay at while you're hiking. We ended up having to stay on the top of a mountain for one of those days because we couldn't get to our campsite because it was dark. Like we had gone. I mean, there was one day. I mean, we went like 20 miles in one day, and it was just dark out. We had to stop and set up camp. And well, another part of that before I tell the story of me being close to death was my shoes. We had to cross a river. I took them off, and I slipped on a rock in the river, and I threw my shoes when I slipped to catch myself, and they just floated right away.
No way.
Yeah. So I tried to track them down, like maybe they get caught on the side, and I get them. No, they're gone. They're long gone. So I go back, and I'm just like in disbelief. I'm just like, oh my gosh. My buddy's like, well, I've got these like Chacos, these like sandal looking things. And I'm like, all right, I'll take them. So I put on 2 layers of socks, and I walked 26 miles in those back to the car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Great experience. I say that sarcastically, but honestly, we became we were good friends before. That's a time I'll never forget. That's
bonding
that trip
right there.
was just crazy. Yeah. Eating MREs in the forest, wanting to throw up because they were so bad. Awesome. Anyways, so after the first day, we get to our campsite, we wake up the next morning, and we didn't really account for snow either because it was summertime. It was midsummer. But you get up high enough in the mountains, there's still snow. And it's not even that cold. It's just, it snowed so much that it's just still sitting on that area. And before we went, we had this lady say that we would want ice axes. And we didn't really think much of it, but she was like, I highly recommend it. Like, I don't want you guys to go without them. We already had crampons, which go on the bottom of your shoe to help you stick in the snow. So we went and got the ice axes. We rented them. We went back out, and sure enough, we used those things. There was about a 60-degree slope that the path was on the other side, probably about 20 feet to the path, and then the slope, we were in the middle of it, but it was probably like 15 feet high before there was just a big drop off of rocks. So we have to cross this thing, and I'm the last one in line. So those 3 make it across, and I'm going sideways with the ice axe just in my hand. I'm just crawling to the side, going from right to left, and all of a sudden the snow below me just starts crumbling. Just starts crumbling below me. God. And I start sliding down, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So the ice axe has a sharp point on one side and then a flat point on the other. I stick the sharp side in to try and, I mean, at this point, like, I know the stakes. I know how high up I am. I mean, a drop down 40, 50 feet in the rocks, just right below me, like 60 degrees, boom, rocks. And I know the stakes, adrenaline right away. And I, quick thinking, stick the ice axe in with the sharp point. It doesn't work. I slide down another 3 feet. Quickly, I, like, movie style, flip this axe around, like, and stick it in. And it just slides another, like, 3 feet and stops. And I look behind me, and, like, 6 feet behind me is just a canyon, just rocks.
Oh, man.
And I look up at the other guys. I'm like, I've got like this, I just almost died face, like someone just got murdered, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And they're looking at me, and they're like shaking, they're like freaking out. They're like, get up here. So they try and like try and pull me up and stuff. I have to use the ice axe to get back up there. I mean, 6 foot from never seeing the light of day again. It was crazy, and it was the adrenaline. I mean, the adrenaline kicked in instantly, and it got me thinking quick. And yeah, I had a nice panic attack after that. I mean, it was scary. We walked another like half mile, and we had to sit down because everyone was freaking out so much. And with that, we finished. That was the second day, like the morning of the second day. So we still had another day and a half because we didn't get back to the car till it was the third day, like 8 o'clock, getting dark. It was crazy.
So after you almost fell to your death and had that near-death experience, did you have any epiphanies, any like deep realizations?
Yeah, I'm never going hiking there again. There was another time during that trip that me and my buddy almost fell into, because it was a very narrow path, fell into there. We got back in the car and talked about that later, and it was like, yeah, we really need to plan better before we do stuff like that again. Because it was all our first time. We had planned it. We had spent like 3 months planning this thing, but I mean, nothing prepares you for stuff like that. Like, oh, you may get caught in the snow. Like you may have to camp somewhere else. We had bear spray. We had all this stuff, but like extra food, like we should have brought even more food, just because you're burning thousands and thousands of calories walking 20 miles a day.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end, like you get so sick of that food sometimes, like that bad food, like it's better to just pack a whole nother canister of food, stuff like that. Like, man, like it's crazy that we saw some people that jogged that entire path in one day. They ran through the entire thing in one day. They may have taken a different turn somewhere, but they went like 40, 50 miles on that same path, like in one day. It was nuts. Like, I don't know how people do that.
That's just crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. But great memories.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. We stayed in Jackson Hole. That was awesome. Very nice. Touristy, but very awesome. It was awesome. I had one of the best burgers in my life there.
Was that after you almost died?
I had it before and after I almost died.
Oh, nice.
So,
there you go. Yeah.
At least he's consistent.
Yeah. 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 We got in the car, and I was like, I'm getting a burger tomorrow.
Man, those life or death experiences, man, they'll do something to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think about it, I'm like, man, if I didn't have the ice axe, like, it's like one of those things, like, oh, if I would have left 2 seconds earlier, this person would have hit me. Something like that. It's like one of those things, like, oh, that one thing.
That was almost it.
Yeah, like that was almost it.
There's almost no further track career, no podcast right now. Like, that would have just been book
and
closed.
I would have thought it would have been a bear before something like that.
You could take a bear.
With the bear spray, maybe. You know what they say when you see a bear, what you're supposed to do? Like, if your buddy's getting attacked, you're supposed to spray it in the butt.
Oh.
Really? Well, yeah. It burns their butt and they run away.
What?
So we had thought about every scenario with, like, bears, like what we would do, like, if it's this color, do this, if it's, whatever. Nothing about, like, what if there's snow at a 60-degree angle and you're about to fall off a cliff?
I don't think I have any, like, really close near-death experiences. Not that I can think of. Do you, Jacob? Like, that you think of right off the top of your head? Like that?
No, not really. I mean, done some hiking.
I need to do some more crazy
whatever
stuff.
else. I mean, do you define skydiving as a near-death experience?
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know.
I want to do that so bad.
I don't know. Would you consider that near-death?
Probably not.
Probably not. It's pretty safe.
You're pretty far from death. I feel like we're more closer to near-death in the sauna than we are skydiving.
The sauna's bad. 15 minutes, it's dripping in your eyes. You're like, I got to get out of here, man.
Yeah. We're trying to go till we die. That's kind of the goal.
Yeah. I like the sauna.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We need to do a sauna podcast. I've talked about this. If we could get the mics in there, they're going to overheat. That's the problem. But if you could, that'd be so dope, man.
That'd be cool.
Just bring one of your Yeti mics in there. And
you mean the microphone that's made entirely out of metal? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a brilliant idea. Yeah. So I'm drinking this Element electrolyte powder, and It's lemon habanero is the flavor. That's not the one that I like. I ordered the ones I liked, and they sent me like a variety pack, so it's got all different flavors. Do either of you want to try the lemon habanero?
I'm okay. I smelled it.
I'll do it for the content.
Do it, Joe.
All right. How long has it been since you washed this thing?
I just washed it.
A month ago.
You just got up and spit it out.
That's awful. That's the worst thing I've ever tasted. Second worst.
Describe
I had
it.
menudo one time.
Yeah, I said describe that.
So if you have ever smelled windshield wiper fluid,
Ooh, that doesn't smell good.
windshield wiper fluid, and then like if someone like ate an entire lemon
And then mixed
like,
it with hot sauce.
spit in there.
Did you just drink it?
No, I almost didn't. He goes, and spit in there.
Yeah, and then they spit in there. And then you put like a Mexican candy in there. That's what it tastes like. So pretty similar to what the pack says it is.
Yeah. Mango chili. Oh, it's not lemon habanero. I had lemon habanero
I did not
yesterday.
taste mango.
Yeah, no, it's all chili almost.
That's not mango.
I think lemon habanero is worse. That's what I had yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
Not great.
No.
I don't know who approved these flavors here.
Yeah, who the heck comes up with a chocolate flavored salt, a lemon habanero, raw, and then mango chili all in the same pack?
Is this BCAs?
No, it's electrolytes.
Ah.
Yeah. It's really good for you. I mean, I like the other
Yeah,
flavors, but this is just terrible. Wow. You regret that?
Yeah, what are these sitting here for?
I said you can have a water if you'd like a water, Joe.
Great. I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Whoever made that should regret it.
I need to clip that up. That's going to be a good little episode. You want to try? I mean, sure, I'll give it a shot.
For the content.
You full sent that.
Yeah, you should have brought other flavors.
Well,
that would have been smart.
Yeah, I got a mouthful of that.
yeah. No, I honestly,
I want to try the chocolate now.
The chocolate is terrible.
he had the chocolate this morning.
It would be better
It
if it
cannot
was
be
in
as
milk.
bad as that. Ooh.
It was, yeah. It almost tastes like hot chocolate,
Wouldn't
But
that
it's
kind of
just, like,
defeat the purpose
super
of
watered down.
drinking a bunch of sodium?
and it's really salty too,
Oh.
which also throws it off.
Yeah, they're all very salty. Electrolytes are an acquired taste, though, because it's how much sodium and potassium is in it. Yeah, so that's
I would say that all of the electrolyte drinks that I've had are not good by any means. It's just better than the last one or better than this other one.
I like it. Like if I could have a soda or I got to make like an Element raspberry and Element watermelon, like mix that with my water, I'd probably pick the electrolytes over the soda.
Yeah, I don't like.
You can do electrolyte pills.
Yeah, I have salt
What I
pills.
do.
Yeah. I eat a lot of
I
those.
think those work good.
Yeah, yeah, they do for sure. I need to order more of them actually. Now that you bring that up, behind. Oh, well. I don't know. Is that flavor out of your mouth or is it still in there?
I think it's gone now. Yeah, it's gone now. We're good.
I think I see a tear in your eye.
No, I don't think so. You can zoom in and see.
Yeah, let's zoom in
Yes,
on
it-
this.
You want to zoom in
Yep.
now?
Yep.
Give him a zoom. Give him a quick zoom.
Show off this 4K camera.
There it is.
Wow. Yeah, that thing's nice.
It's a good camera, man.
Well, we got it just in time too because so tomorrow, fingers crossed, things don't fall through. Logan Mize, you know Logan Mize?
Yeah.
Okay, he's coming back on the podcast for the second time.
Wow.
So tomorrow, last time I didn't have a camera at all, so this is like a big jump.
That's huge.
And so it was like really poor video quality. The audio wasn't great, but this time I'm bringing that camera tomorrow, and I'm really hoping it's going to work well because it'd be so cool to get that captured in like 4K quality.
Where are you doing it at?
We do it at his recording studio,
Wow.
which is dope.
Here in Wichita?
Andale.
Andale.
Yeah. Dude, he is so fun. Such a fun guy.
That's awesome.
I ran this morning with my friend Bryce Lobb, who runs Una Vida Tequila. So he has like his own alcohol brand that he started. So he's got Una Vida Tequila, and then he's got El Trago, which is like his whiskey bourbon. And so I was running with him this morning, and I mentioned I'll be with Logan tomorrow. You know, he's a big tequila guy. And Bryce goes, dude, the amount of alcohol I have in the back of my car, here. And he gives me 2 bottles to give to Logan tomorrow. Wow. So I'm super excited for that experience.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
does he sell that tequila in
Wichita?
All around Wichita?
Yeah, he's
just
everywhere, man.
Ones or just everywhere?
No, he's everywhere. He's in, I think, 6 states right now, and he sells e-commerce, but he's slowly growing. But he's got a deal with Chicken and Pickle, so he's growing with Chicken and Pickle, which is perfect.
Chicken and Pickle's getting real big.
Yeah, and so he's getting in on that action. He's a great guy, such a good guy.
That's awesome.
But that'll be fun. Yeah.
For sure.
In other news, maybe having another guest, I got a message this morning. This is all up in the air. Totally could fall through, but it looks like there's a chance that Chase Koch's coming on.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been DMing him.
That's nuts.
And his like social media person reached out to me and she's like, hey, I saw that you've been sending messages. Let's connect on this and figure out what we can do. I'm like, dude, how huge would that be?
That's massive. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I can't even fully comprehend how cool that'd be. I think it'd be, I think it'd be fun to get all different sorts of guests in here, like to have a you, to have a Logan, to have a Chase, John, myself, like just all these different
Just
random
everyone, yeah.
guests all in here, just like having a conversation together, shooting crap, just like talking, you know?
Everyone has something interesting going on in their life or that has happened. And there's just so many different things to talk about.
And the thread of people for this podcast is high performers. So if you put high performers in a room together, I feel like something cool is always going to come out of it. It's like a chemical reaction almost.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Inspire some people.
Oh, yeah. Say something motivational, Joe. The people need it.
Oh, motivational.
He's thinking.
Yeah. Let me think. Pain is temporary, but pride is forever.
Ooh, good one.
Wow.
I like it.
Yep.
What does that mean to you?
I think about that a lot when I'm doing workouts or when I won the 300 hurdles at state my senior year. In the middle of it, that's what I thought of. And sure enough, I won. I wasn't supposed to win. I was supposed to get second. I won. And I saw that before some of our football games. They'd put it on the table. I'd heard that quote before, but that's probably my favorite one. It's so simple.
You push so hard and you work so hard. Do you think that drive is something you were born with naturally, or do you think you learned it?
Competitive wise, yes. Very competitive. My dad was very competitive. He is very competitive.
So was that learned, or did you?
The competitiveness, yes. I had to work pretty hard in football to get to a spot where I was playing and I was good. I was good enough to play. So hard work comes from just trying to get a spot on a bunch of these teams. I mean, football, from 3rd grade to 6th grade, I didn't play a whole lot, but the plays I was in, I made the best I could to try and get more playing time. And then football in high school, I didn't play until my senior year. I really worked hard, and then we won a state championship there. And same with track. Track's such an individual sport. If you don't work hard yourself, it's not like the team's going to carry you in any sort of way.
Right.
So, and then trying to get on the team at WSU after my senior year, all those things combined have really accumulated into the work ethic I have now.
Do you think that are you able to turn off that competitive mode that you're in? Or is it always no matter what you're doing, you need to win balls to wall?
It's pretty hard. Me and Marissa, my girlfriend, were playing mini golf, and she said I was too competitive.
Mini golf.
Yeah, she said I was too competitive, and it stressed her out. So there are times I need to. It's pretty hard for me to do that. Even when I play a board game, I hate losing.
I'm flashing back to us hanging out last summer at the pool and just all of the.
Oh yeah!
Remember the one with the football where you had to throw it through the life preserver and then the jumping across the pool, dude. We get together. We're just playing games. We're putting out little bets, seeing who's going to win what, and we're all so competitive.
Yeah,
that's the fun part.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to have a winner.
No one wants a consolation trophy. You participated. Does that really feel good?
Yeah. Exactly.
You showed up. That's great. But does it really feel good that you participated?
Like, oh, there's someone better than me.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know how I feel about that. Like you need to really, because if you don't know who's first, second, or third, you never have something to work towards. You're always going to think, well, this is life. You know, I'm always going to get a participation trophy. I'm always just good enough. And it's like, no, you got to do some work sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you got to have something that you're striving for.
There will always be someone that is better than you or becomes better than you in life. So you are always working towards a goal. Like you'll see like people who hold the world records for things in any sport. It's like they either retire and they eventually have that record broken, or they keep going and extend that record. And still, even then, like years later, maybe 20, 30, 50 years later, like somewhere in that range, like someone's going to break it. Like you always have something to work for, because you could be the best in the world, but it's going to be taken. That title is going to be taken away at some point, you know. And that's what you should shoot for is that title. Like your goals should be big, and if your goals are big, you'll achieve big things if you work hard towards those goals.
I think like the big thing for that is like, why do people want to be the best? Why do they want to have big goals? I think it comes down to legacy. Like I think people want some aspect of immortality around them. They want to know they're going to be remembered for doing something great and truly hard and not just floating through life.
Yeah. Well, and that comes with emotion too. Like, you know, I sometimes you see people who are unemotional about what they're doing. Like you may be trying to be great at a particular thing, and you see people who are unemotional about it. Like they'll do bad and they just don't care. You got to have some sort of emotion with it too. Like if you don't care about it, you're not going to be emotional. So yeah, caring about your legacy and wanting to do something special, and that brings emotion, and that emotion drives you to work harder and all that good stuff.
I have a real deep question for you. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Take your time to think about
Okay.
it. So we're talking about legacy, doing hard things, whatever. And this answer is going to change as you get older. But right now, at this point in your life, when you die, what do you want to be remembered for? Or how do you want to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as the person that was kind and loving to everyone else. Like people visit my grave, or people think about me when I die, and they don't think of it as, oh, that's good he died. Like
About time.
Yeah. I don't want them to be sad about it, because I think that I'll be I want to be in a better place.
Mm-hmm.
But I want people to look back on me and just think, oh, he was a good man. I see him as a good example of a way to live my life.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's really profound for sure.
What do you two think?
I was going to say, can I ask you, John, or?
I mean,
I know we're going real deep here, but my curiosity is piqued.
No, yeah, this is definitely one of the deep ones that I think about a lot. Actually, it's like, I guess this isn't the question that I think about a lot. It's more of, and this might be a selfish thing, but like if I died tomorrow, like would I be happy with my life, or something along those lines is what I think about a lot, and I think the answer to that question is yes, most often. But for that question, I guess kind of along the same lines, just being known as a person that is always there, or, never wronged someone. I know there's some people in my life that I wouldn't trust, I wouldn't trust with some information and things like that. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy that's trustworthy and fun, I guess.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you got?
No, I like that answer. And I think that it's weird because like you can die any day. You know, that's what's really
I hate
weird.
thinking about that.
But I would say that you can't live your life thinking about that, like you were just saying. Otherwise, you won't do anything. You won't go out on this crazy hiking trip and almost die there and lose your shoes and whatever else, and try this terrible mango chili flavor.
That might have been another close death experience.
Yeah,
What do you think?
It wasn't great. I'll say it wasn't great.
Would you think it was better than the chocolate one?
I would take that over the chocolate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to try the chocolate
100%.
one.
Well, that was the only chocolate one we had. Is the one that John had.
Well, yeah, you're never buying that again, are you? So
Those ones were free.
Yeah.
But the terrible thing is they also sent another flavor called raw. It's literally just the salt. So I think that might potentially be worse than
drink
having
in the ocean.
Yeah. I think that could potentially be worse than these terrible flavors.
You have to put some Mio in that or something.
Yeah.
Give it some flavor.
I'm going to try it tomorrow, so I'm going to see how that tastes.
Oy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you'll have to let me know about that.
Yeah, I'll give you guys an update on it.
yeah, we went really deep there for a second.
I know. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
I enjoy
Stuff.
It's called Real Conversations. I mean,
is.
that's what we got to do out here.
All right. Yeah.
So this has been fun. Joe, do you have any other updates? I know you talked about the board game last time. How is that going?
Good. It's up on my website. Well,
You have a website?
I say my website. It's up on the website that I have it produced on. I'm working right now to try and see which promotional pictures or videos or whatever work best on social media. And once I get a good enough following, I'll do a crowd sale for it. So it'll be cheaper for everyone. And same with another card game that I just finished. It's just a very simple, fun card game called Golf. Kind of my version of golf. Everyone kind of has a different way to play golf. But the cards are, they're not just a deck of cards. Like they've got pictures of like golf. They've got different titles like mulligans and slightly different rules and stuff like that. So once I figure out what my following takes to best and what kind of content they like best and whatever promotes best and does the best to get people engaged and all that sorts of stuff, then I'll do crowd sale on those. So,
Do you have an estimated target date for when the first one will be ready?
the first one would definitely be Survival, which was the game I started with. I don't have a target date for it yet. I think that having 1,000 followers on Instagram would be a good milestone to hit first. I've got almost 100 now, I think.
Okay.
So
Do we want to plug that Instagram? You cool with that?
sure.
Yeah, give us the spiel, man. This is your time.
I believe it's I'm Board Games Co. Let me go to that real quick.
Yeah, I'll do a screen share.
So
I'll look it
it's
up.
actually just
Yeah, for sure.
I'm Board Games BORED, and then it's got a link tree in there as well, which will take you to the instructions manual for Survival. It'll take you to About Us. It'll take you to the card game. My TikTok and my Facebook. My TikTok and Facebook are not the priorities right now, but there are a couple posts on TikTok, and there's pretty much the same posts on Facebook. And the Facebook doesn't have a huge following, but I think that Instagram is more of where board games are shown off and sold and all that. So that's the main focus is Instagram.
So the game is done, though, right?
The game is done.
You have finalized the game.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's done. So I still think I need to play it with you guys.
It's
But I'll-
I'm bored. What?
Yeah.
Say it again.
BORED games. Yep. There it is.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're watching, you can see this is Joe's Instagram page here.
Yep.
Wow.
That's the new card game, the hole-in-one there. That's Survival right there. And then I've got some other pictures. There's
Man,
some
look at
cards and
this.
stuff like that. Yeah.
That's legit, man.
Yeah.
That's actually
sweet.
Tanner, who I was talking about earlier.
Is that your
on the
cousin?
left. No, that's
Oh.
Tanner. He's
Oh, the-
really
yeah.
good multi-sprinter.
Yeah, this is all. We played the game with you a while back. That was really fun, man.
Oh, we did.
It's
Yes,
a good game.
yes, we did.
I
made a few changes since then.
I was gonna say I can't remember if that was the final version or not.
So I made a few changes based off what everyone was saying. I finalized the instructions, like hours and hours and hours of making sure the instructions were good and the pictures were good in there and everything like that. And the back of it actually has so go to the link tree, if you don't mind, right there in the bio. It's actually the instructions. It doesn't come with an instructions manual. If you go to the PDF there, right down there, right there, it actually has a QR code on the back with the instructions. So you always have it on your phone with you, and the instructions can never get torn up, and you can always access that PDF right there.
This is looking real legit, man.
Yeah, that took a couple hours to put together. I already had everything in a Word document, but putting it together with all the pictures and stuff, that took.
I like your logo a lot too.
Thank you.
How'd you come up with the logo?
I came up with a bunch online. And then I texted a bunch of people and had them vote on it, which one they liked best. And then I came up with 2 or 3 main logos.
Oh,
with 2 different names. Yeah.
You put us in the credits, dude. That's so nice of you.
Of course.
Wow. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys helped out a lot. I appreciate it. So,
well, we like whenever people do stuff like this. It's so cool.
Well, thank you. But yeah, and then I came up with the 3 that everyone liked the most, and I had everyone vote on it again. I think I had like 25 people talking about it, and then that was actually, it was tied with another one. I liked that one better, so I used that one, and then I changed a couple of the colors. Like the light bulb wasn't yellow and the brain wasn't pink, so I changed those.
It looks real good, man.
So yeah,
nice. Yeah,
it was a fun process actually to make the logo. I enjoy doing stuff like that. So
what'd you use to make it?
I used actually it was kind of like an AI generated system where I put in stuff like that, and then I took a bunch of ones that I liked from there and then had people vote on it. But then with that one, obviously I was like, well, this one's tied with the other. I think that I can change a couple colors in this and make it one that I really like.
Nice.
And people like that I had 2 different names. One was I'm Board Games like that, and then the other was card.io. But it kind of ended up being like, that's more of an internet like URL type of thing.
Right.
So I went with the I'm Board Games.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like it, man.
Well,
stuff.
People go support Joe. He's killing it out here.
To follow would be awesome.
What's your Instagram? Like both of them, I guess, just again.
Yeah, I'm Board Games. And then my personal Instagram is...
he has to look it up. Look at this guy.
It's J_Holthusen. I couldn't remember if it had an underscore or not.
You want to spell Holthusen for him?
Yeah, HOLTHUSEN.
And then I link all of these in the show notes too. So if you swipe up, you should be able to just click the link to go follow both of Joe's accounts there. John, where are you at?
At the John Pete.
Nice. And then I am at the Jake Bosee, and then at real_conversations for the podcast Instagram. Any parting words here, fellas?
And the TikTok.
Oh, yeah, and TikTok.
I do like your TikTok.
Yeah, at Real Conversations Pod on TikToks. It's just the same videos from Instagram, and I also put them on YouTube, so it's just easy to upload to all 3. Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
You guys got anything else?
Thanks for having me on.
This has been fun. We'll do it again.
Yeah, I love this.
All right.
It's awesome.
Go support Joe. See you, people. God bless America.
Bye.
See ya.